Hi.
Hey everyone,
Welcome back.
to the Empowerment Podcast. My name is Xander.
My name is Christina, and
Eh,
we are both Avatar Masters. That means we are licensed and trained to deliver the Avatar training. And we both met in this trainings many years ago, and we are sharing viewpoints once in a while about everything about life. And we thought we may can take with you with some, and it's all about empowerment in this podcast.
Yeah, and in this case, we really wanted to talk about something we both notice, and that is making bad compromises. So, to give an example, you know how you have all kinds of things going on in your life, things you find important, but then something feels like it's um, threatening your success.
Mhm.
So let me give a practical example. I often skip the gym because I feel like I'm working hard and and I'm tired, and I also have all kinds of other priorities. So I'm sort of negotiating in my head if I really need to do it or not. But it's a bad compromise because I know every time I actually have gone to the gym, I always feel better and I actually feel more empowered afterwards. So it's something in our minds, I think, at least in my mind, where I'm thinking, nah, I can skip this one.
Yeah, actually, I have a similar example. Now I'm thinking about another one that we don't have the same. I never thought that you would skip the
Yeah, I
gym, by
do.
the way. You're
Yeah,
always selling yourself as such a fitness guy here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was a time. There was a time. But I guess other things got more important. But still, it's hard to keep. It can be challenging to stay in touch with the priorities every single time.
I can say it was yeah, everything about self-care, what means eating well, exercising, stretching, and also sleep.
Hmm.
That sometimes I think I need to skip it in order to reach what I want.
Yeah.
And that is, I don't know if this is really true. And I have the feeling of that this always flashes back on me because on days where I do it, I actually, that it does not take so much time that I always reach the rest too. So it's
Mm.
something in my head where I believe, okay, I need to skip it in order to, I don't know, be able to make it what's on my schedule, but it always has a flashback later, and then it takes even more time to recover from back pain, I don't know, anything,
Mm.
than just having it as a routine. Yeah.
Uh, Yeah. I don't know if you have the same, but what about all the time fretting about, oh, I should have gone to the gym.
Oh
Oh, I
yeah,
should have done this.
that's the energy what goes in these
It goes in the,
self-discussions, huh?
yeah, there's a lot of self-discussing, a lot of exercising in our minds
Yeah,
on
yeah,
why or why not. But so it made me think of the quote. I think it's a Zen saying: if you try to meditate every day for 10 minutes, unless you're really busy, then meditate for an hour every day. And I think I can relate to that in my life, that if I have a quiet mind, I'm way more productive.
yeah.
But if I don't, and if I'm very busy, there are so many thoughts, and it doesn't fit in my head, but maybe just all the thoughts don't fit in my head. That's why I don't have the time. It feels like I don't have the
Exactly.
time for my priorities.
Exactly. So a mind which is busy seems to create shortcuts which are not what we actually have set out to do in our lives.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
very interesting. And it creates also conflicts which are who are not there because we could always do something. I mean, it does not mean that we have to have the strict amount of time every day for it, but we could do always something. But the mind says us, our mind says, no, it's not possible. Just don't do it. It's better for you. Yeah. Lay down, do
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
You will like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I sometimes set the bar maybe even unconsciously
Yeah.
high. And I
Yeah.
wonder if I also do that if my mind sort of does that to discourage me in taking the actual step, that I'm discouraging well, if I gonna work out, or if I also have this with family. like a little bit more distant relatives. I've been meaning to get more in touch with them, but I always find a reason why it doesn't happen. Because, it's a whole evening, but why not actually just take a small step and sit down for a coffee for 1 hour? I'm sure it will make me feel a lot better. Actually, after this podcast, I'm going to send someone a message to set this up.
Nice. But you know what? It reminds me also too that we sometimes follow our emotions instead of what we know is right. And with emotion, this is something what Xana and me explored also in the Avatar course. We mix up there sometimes like gut feeling or intuition with just ego feelings. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not a gut feeling if I want to stay on the sofa and don't want to go to the gym. That's not intuitive.
No,
Even if
no.
it's a feeling. Not every feeling is intuition. What we
Even if
have.
it's very strong,
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to have a bowl of chips. And trust me, the urge can be strong, but I think it's an urge and it's not I think maybe from intuition, it comes a little bit more quiet and there's a certain knowingness about it. And with more of these urges, I feel more restless. I don't know
Yeah.
how that is for you.
Yeah, exactly. It does not lead to any, and there's always a bad feeling when we do it. Like after that, we don't feel better. That's what I experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also a good signal. What I'm realizing, if I'm feeling more and more restless during the day or during the week, maybe there's something I haven't paid attention to that
Mm.
I know actually to be right. So I'm maybe a little off track, maybe not a lot, and maybe even acknowledging that is enough, but it would be a good signal to watch out for.
Good red flag, yeah, that we don't do bad compromises, which we
Yeah,
regret later.
yeah,
I mean, we all know this feeling that we didn't give in to what we like thought. We do it. We always feel empowered later that we did it, like stretching through a comfort zone or so.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think especially as we're recording this and we're approaching the new year and we're talking about the gym and a lot of people want to exercise more. And there's always a moment where it gets a little bit more difficult. And just watch for those moments. I think it's easy to say, you just gotta push through. But I know for myself, that's easily said and done. But just watch for those moments and see if you can stretch a little past that. And maybe if you're over the hump, then it gets easier.
Yeah. And not every feeling is a gut feeling. That's also what I take out of
Yeah.
this conversation today.
Yeah. Right.
Don't
Yeah.
believe everything what you
Don't
think.
believe everything your mind comes up with. I know I shouldn't do that.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you for listening. See you very soon. Bye
See you
bye.
soon. Bye.